Hey, today I'm making a big pot of beans, and the best thing to have with a big pot of beans is a big pot of white rice. And you don't need a fancy rice cooker or anything like that to make just plain white rice. Let me show you what you do need and what I got going on here. You need 1 cup of long grain white rice. 1 cup of this dried rice will make 2 cups of cooked rice. You need 2 cups of water, about a tablespoon of salt, a little bit of butter, that's 2 tablespoons, and a pot with a lid that fits nice and tight. Put your water in, turn the flame on. You can go ahead and add your butter and your salt. Put the lid back on and let this come to a boil. Now that our water is boiling, give it a stir. We're going to add our rice, but add this in slowly because if you add it in too quickly, it'll boil up and make a huge mess on your stove. And if you have a gas stove like me, it'll put your flame out. So add the rice in real slowly at first. See how it starts to kind of boil up. Once you get it going, you can just dump it right in. Don't stir it too much right now. Don't stir it too much. It'll make it sticky and gloopy and gluey. Don't stir it. Let it come. You've given that its initial stir. Let it come up to a boil. Once you're back up to a good rolling boil, give it one good thorough stir. Quickly put the lid on and turn the fire down just about as low as it will go and still stay on. And you're going to let this simmer at that low rate, lid on, for 9 minutes. Do not take the lid off. Don't take the lid off. As much as you're tempted to take the lid off, trust the science. Put the lid on, let it simmer at the lowest setting on your stove for 9 minutes. Don't take the lid off. Don't do it. After your 9 minutes have passed, just turn the fire off. If you have an electric stove, you're going to want to move your pan off of the heat. But again, don't take the lid off. Just leave the lid on. And you're going to leave the lid on with the fire turned off for 10 full minutes. And then your rice will be ready. Don't take the lid off. Don't let anybody in your household come through and say, "Hey, Mama, what you making?" and take the lid off. Don't let them do it. Don't do it. Leave the lid on. That's the whole trick. The timing and the measurements. 1 part rice, 2 parts water, little salt, little butter, and a pot with a tight fitting lid. That's all you need. Don't take the lid off. Cook it for the right amount of time. And don't take the lid off. Don't do it. Did I tell you about not taking the lid off? Don't do that. 10 minutes. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Now, after 10 minutes of sitting here, look at this rice. Look at it. Fluffy. All the pieces are separate. It's perfect. It's the perfect rice. And that's how you cook the perfect rice with no fancy equipment. It's just rice. Rice. Let's have a bite. Gosh, it's so fluffy. So good. Every little grain of rice is separate, not too sticky. Still just a little bit of that toothsomeness, a little bit of bite to that rice. It's not cooked to absolute mush. Cook your rice this way. You won't be sad. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, whenever it is, wherever you are.